Hey there, Sage Math students. Welcome to Math 216, Intro to Probability. Probability is the likelihood of an event happening, and it is expressed as a number between 0 and 1, so oftentimes a percentage or a fraction. So if something has a 0% chance of happening, it is impossible. So write the word impossible here. For instance, me rolling a 7 when a numbered die is numbered 1 through 6, that's a 0% probability because there's no 7 on that dice. It's impossible. Something that is 1/4 or 25%, this is unlikely. Something that is 50% or 1/2, it is equally likely. So for instance, flipping a coin, it's equally likely that I land on heads or tails, 50-50 chance, right? Something that is 3/4 or 75% is likely, meaning it probably will happen, and then something that is 100% or 1/1 is certain. So going back to the die example, me rolling a number 1 through 6 with a die that's labeled 1 through 6, I'm going to get 1 through 6, so it's absolutely certain. All right. So if we take a look at these examples here, snowing when it's 40 degrees outside. Well, the freezing point is 32 degrees Fahrenheit, so this is going to be impossible, or maybe even highly unlikely, right? Burning your dinner if you cook it for too long, that's going to be probably pretty likely, unless have your dinner is like super frozen and you need to cook it a little extra long. Water boiling at 75 degrees, well, the boiling point is 211 degrees Fahrenheit, so this is impossible. Again, you try and figure out numbers 4 through 6. For simple probability, it's basically how do we even find out the probability of something? It's just the ratio of desired outcomes, so like what you want to have happen, to the total number of outcomes. It is labeled as something like P of what you want. So in this case, P of A, the probability of A, right? The probability of an event is called its complement when it's the probability of event that of it not occurring. The probability of an event and its complement have to have a sum of 1. So like, for instance, the probability of me flipping heads on a coin is 50%. The probability of me not flipping heads, aka flipping tails, is also 50%. 50 plus 50 adds up to 100% or 1. That is labeled with this kind of apostrophe. So P apostrophe A means the probability of not getting A, right? So let's try a couple of these. Number 7, it says, what's the probability of choosing a marble with stripes? So the only one that has stripes, even though this are kind of tough pictures here, is just 1, right? So 1 out of 5. This was my desired out of the total, 1 out of 5. The probability of, again, that little apostrophe means not picking diamonds. Well, there's a diamond here, there's a diamond here. So the probability of picking diamonds is 2 out of 5. So not picking diamonds would be 1, 2, 3, 3 out of 5, right? The ones that aren't diamonds are 3 out of 5. What is the probability of spinning a W? So there's 1 W and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 letters. Therefore, the probability of spinning a W is 1 out of 7. Probability of not getting a vowel. So vowels are A, E, I, O, U, right? So there's 2 A's. So that means there are 5 letters that are not A. So it's 5 out of 7, right? In Edpuzzle, you're going to go ahead and try and do this one. Standard cube has 1 through 6 on it. So what's the probability of rolling a 6? What's the probability of rolling a 5? And what's the probability of rolling an odd number? Say 1, 3, 5. Okay. Number 10, you're going to do an odd puzzle. A laundry basket has 24 socks in it, so there's your total outcomes, right? 6 are navy, 10 were black, and the remaining were white. What's the probability of getting a black sock? Well, that's 10 out of 24, which you can simplify. You can divide those both by 2, which gives you 5/12, right? Always try and simplify. What's the probability of getting a white sock? And then what's the probability of getting a navy sock? You might be saying, wait, Mr. Mason, they don't give you any information about white socks. Yes, they do. They say the remaining were white. Well, if 10 were black and 6 were navy, that's 16 out of the 24, so that means 8 were white, right? So the probability of getting a white sock is 8 out of 24. Again, you can divide both those by 8, so that equals 1/3. and a navy socks was 6 out of 24, you can divide both those by 6 and you get 1/4. So there are your probabilities. For 11, go ahead and do an ed puzzle. Probability of not a 6, probability of a 3 or a 4, probability of an odd number. There are your answers: 1/7, 2/7, 4/7. And then letters in the word soccer are put into a bag, draw it randomly. What's the probability of choosing a vowel, so A, E, I, O, or U, a consonant, anything that's not a vowel, and then the letter C. You make sure to count the letters. You have 6 total letters, and that's how you'll start all of your fractions, right? So vowel was 2/6, aka 1/3. Consonant was 4/6, aka 2/3. And then the letter C was, again, 2/6, aka 1/3. And lastly here, 13 and 14, pediatrician's office. Patients are able to draw from a toy box. It has 12 puzzles, 16, and 2 bouncy balls. So always a good idea to make sure that you have your total. So 12, 16, and 2. This is a total possibility of 30, right? What's the probability of doing anything but a bouncy ball? So there are 2 bouncy balls. That means everything else is 28. 28 out of 30, right? I just simplify that. Get you to divide everything by 2. 14 out of 15. The box of crayons is 16 out of 30, which again, you can divide everything by 2, 8 out of 15. And then a puzzle, which is 12 out of 30. You can divide everything by 6 there. Divide by 6, you get 2/5. All right, and last one you'll do in ed puzzle. Again, make sure you find your total first. And then when you get to the back side, go ahead and do those as well. Remember, P of not with that apostrophe means not. Probably